like to introduce you to Coach Matile from East Lincoln High School in the Triple Crown Lookouts. Thanks for joining me, Coach Matile.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jake. Nice to see you, buddy.
You too. How has your week been?
It's been, a week. It's a lot different, obviously, same as you guys, I'm sure. But it's been okay. Still working every day.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, of course. Always ready for the weekend, buddy.
We're all missing baseball. How has it been for you now, not being able to coach spring baseball, or your current high school seniors?
It's been tough. This is probably the most time I've had off in 20 years, and finding myself a lot of times not knowing what to do with myself, to be honest with you. But there's a lot of time that people don't see that we put in to our high school programs. So we started off-season workouts in August, and on the field, in the weight room, on the weekends. So as coaches and kids, we put a lot of time into this. So it has definitely been a little disappointing, a little upsetting. Probably every emotional streak you can go through. For our senior class, it's always upsetting to end a season, but then to possibly end the season without an absolute finish has been even more rough, I think.
How long have you been living in Lincoln County?
This is my 15th year.
Did you play baseball as a kid?
I did. I did play it all the way from T-ball on up.
What position did you play?
Well, when I was a young kid, I played everywhere. And then when I got into high school, I was mainly a pitcher and a first baseman. For my Legion team, I was mainly a pitcher. And then when I went into college, I was just a pitcher.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to a small college in West Virginia, Concord University.
Who is your favorite all-time baseball player?
League baseball, I definitely, when I was growing up, huge fan of like Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, big right-handed power pitchers with some attitude on the mound. Definitely enjoyed watching those guys play.
Were they the reason that you liked pitching?
No, I think more so watched them because I got into pitching. For me, pitching was an opportunity to touch the ball every time. I was an active kid, obviously, like a lot of kids, and just the enjoyment of getting on the mound and having that opportunity to put your team in a good position. I just always enjoyed
Who's
it.
your favorite baseball team?
Growing up was probably Boston Red Sox. This was the first professional stadium my dad took me to was Fenway Park.
How old were you when you got to go?
Oh, gosh, I was in elementary school, so it probably would have been around 8, 9 years old.
What do you do when you're not coaching baseball?
Well, when I'm not, I coach football here at the high school. Also, I'm also the athletic director, so I spend a lot of time around a lot of sports, a lot of coaches. And then when I'm at home, I'm a dad, a husband. Things.
Why did you start coaching high school baseball?
I was just the enjoyment of it. When I played high school baseball, you get to a certain point when you're playing ball, you kind of realize what your level of play is and how far you can go. Every kid should have dreams and aspirations of playing Major League Baseball. Dreams are good. But when you get to a certain age, you kind of get an idea. And I knew I always wanted to be a part of something. So when I got into college, my whole ambition was not only to play college baseball, without a doubt, but was to also put myself in a better position to learn the game, to understand the game, because I always wanted to be a coach.
What is your favorite thing about coaching?
Probably the growth, just seeing kids coming in as freshmen and then watching them grow throughout their 4 years and then seeing them as adults, getting married, having kids, those types of things. I love competition. It's a big part of who I am. So it gives me an opportunity as an older person now to still have competition, to still put on a baseball uniform and get that opportunity to go out there.
What advice would you give to parents who have kids just starting in baseball?
The biggest advice I'd give is don't get caught up into what the kid next to them, in front of, behind them is doing. The biggest things that parents need to search out is am I putting my son in a position to be developed? And that's the most important aspect of things, especially at this age. And if you're screaming and hollering, yelling at them, you're actually negatively impacting their opportunity at development. because the only thing that they see is when they make a mistake, they get yelled at. Eventually, they stop trying because it's better not to try because I don't want to get yelled at. So if you can positively reinforce kids giving effort, then the more aggressive they're going to become as a baseball player, and then the better baseball player they're going to become, because the more confident I am, the more aggressive I am. The thing about sports that I think people are forgetting is that you get your kids into sports for not to become professional athletes. You get them into sports for responsibility, maturity, discipline, socialization, having fun, competition, all those different types of things. And then the most important thing is to enjoy it, to laugh, to have fun. Put your camera phones down, and you don't have to videotape every at bat and try to break down the kid's swing and all that kind of stuff. It's all silly business. I think too many young kids are getting involved in one-on-one lessons and things of that nature that's actually hurting their ability to grow as an individual, because they're losing a lot of their athleticism. They're turning them into robots instead of athletes. Those are the big things that I would advise the parents, is just enjoy it, have fun, let the kid have fun. There's going to be an age where it has to get important, and the kid and the parents need to make that decision.
What advice would you give to kids that want to play high school baseball?
The biggest thing that at a young age is to put yourself in situations where you're learning the complete game. Put yourself in situations where you're not pigeonholed to what position you can play. We already have a shortstop, and you can't adjust to being a third baseman or a left fielder. Well, you might end up on the bench or not making the team. So the biggest thing is understanding the game. Watch the game. There's a thing, athletic IQ, and those are the big things that we look for.
How do you deal with players with bad attitudes on the field?
Well, there's different approaches you can take to that. Here's the thing that people have to understand in the game of baseball. There's only so many aspects of the game you can control. And that's your attitude, your effort, your energy, your enthusiasm, your preparation. The things that are out of your control are umpires, coaches, fans, the other team, the playing conditions. But what we find ourselves so much as players and coaches, that we put so much focus on those things we can't control, and that's where bad attitudes come from. I strike out, it's the umpire's fault. Well, you had 3 strikes. It can't be the umpire's fault on all 3 of them. You got to look at it in those ways and challenge yourself. And am I putting myself in the best position to be successful? So I think that's a lot of times where attitude comes. I think the biggest thing that we fight here in the high school is body language. And that is a source of attitude too. And the biggest thing that we always talk about is shoulders up, chest up, chins up, and because you may not be verbally saying things, but your body language is telling us things. And a lot of times that's a reason to be taken out of the baseball game, because your body language and your negative energy could negatively impact the rest of the team. First thing we do is approach it, is talk about it, and then see if we can figure it out from there.
Thank you. Now I have a couple questions for you about youth baseball in our community.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important to have youth sports in our community?
Well, I think youth sports is the foundation of a community. I think it really gives kids an opportunity to leave the house and have to be put in a position where they got to listen to somebody else, unless their mom or dad is coaching. But there's also an assistant coach there. I coached my boys all the way through and enjoyed it and loved it. But the one thing I never did really was coach my boys. My assistant coaches coached them, because I wanted them to have to listen to somebody else. I wanted them to have to give eye contact to somebody else and respect somebody else's thoughts and understand who an adult was. Youth sports is the foundation of your community. It helps build good people and good kids. I'm a huge advocate of it. I don't care your skill level. It doesn't matter to me. I think it's important that all kids get involved in sports at some point in their life.
How would you like to see our baseball, softball communities grow in Lincoln County?
Well, I think we got to continue to have good people in the right positions. I think we got to continue as high school coaches as to try to reach out in the community and try to get involved and continue to run camps and give parents an opportunity to come into our camps and maybe learn some of the skills that they may have not learned when they were younger, or may have not learned the opportunity, the way to teach it. As I look through some of our youth programs, even from the Optimist Club, we got some good dads that are working hard to grow this game and to give kids an opportunity to get better. We got some good travel baseball teams around in our area. Although I think we have too many of them. I think there should be some comboing going on, but I think the most important thing is that we all work together, that we don't make decisions or talk poorly about other people because we're jealous of them or because our team's not as good as their team or vice versa. I think that we got to work together to put the best product on the field that we can. So when the kids do get to middle school and they do get into high school, they have a better opportunity to make those teams.
You could add one thing to our community sports programs. What would it be?
Well, I definitely add a better facility. The Optimist Club is I'll tell you, it's right there for the making. It's in a great spot. It just needs to be upgraded big time. I used to love leaving work and driving home and seeing dads and kids out there on those Optimist Club fields practicing, running, playing. I think there should be and could be huge improvements made to the Optimist Club, and I think that they could definitely put themselves in a position to prosper like you see down in Matthews, you see in Hickory, you see in Catawba County, where they're using their youth facilities to facilitate to the tournament play, and their facilities are top notch, and we're way behind the times here in Lincoln County when it comes to ball fields. I'd like to see is those daggum field closed signs thrown in the trash can somewhere and get the people back out there playing and having fun.
How do you think rec and travel ball can come together in our community?
I'll tell you what, Jake, it would be huge. It's a very easy concept. You introduce travel ball to the rec program and give kids options. And then from those options, you hire coaches. And then from those coaches, you put together teams. And you still have your rec opportunity and you still have your travel opportunities. I think it would be great for families, local families. I think it'd be great for Lincoln County. We have a lot of kids that are traveling to far distances to play travel ball just because there isn't an option around here for them or they don't like the option. Definitely tie in a rec program with a travel program. It's going to have to be somebody that's willing to tie it all together and then push it out. And I think you could have a great opportunity. Plus, all-star teams will be a lot better.
Thank you for being here so I can interview you.
Thank you, Jake.